I am Dr. Pepper.
First glance.
First
First
glance.
glance. First glance. First
this
glance.
this is a first
First
glance.
glance.
First
Been a while since
glance.
we've done this.
Yeah, it's been a while since there's been something new. That's not even true, but
That's not even true. That's what I was gonna say. I was like,
there's something new
wait,
every
don't
week.
say it. Don't say it. There's been a lot new. It's just we haven't been. We've
First
been.
glance in it.
Yeah, we haven't been first glancing it.
Listen, we watched like 30 hours of DC movies, so if you're mad that we haven't
Oh,
given you a first glance,
that was really fun on paper, and it was fun to do too. But like by the time I was done, I was like, I don't want to.
yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Then Coke had to edit it. Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
that was a lot.
And then people didn't hear about the 20 minutes additional where we like changed all of our answers after the fact. Like, you know what? I actually did like that movie more. It's
Yeah,
all right. It's printed. It's gone.
whatever. It's yeah.
We'll go back to it.
So we have Gargoyles number one.
Look at that.
Is this exciting or what?
We live again. Yes. Did,
Bum, 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 bum,
did,
bum, bum.
did you
Oh, yeah.
read all of Goliath's dialogue in
Keith David, yes.
Ed Key State? So that,
Like, yeah,
yeah.
how
How wouldn't you?
how could like
Unless this was your first intro to Disney's Gargoyles.
I hope it wasn't because it requires prior reading.
And
You're not just
understanding,
watching.
yeah, understanding of the world that Gargoyles have built.
So this is published by Dynamite Entertainment, written by Greg Wiseman, who is the original creator, by the way. So
Wow.
that's dope. That's dope. Artist George Cambidas, Cambadai. There we go. So this, if you don't know what Gargoyles is, you should just turn this off right now. But anyways, this
You don't want to call him Cam Badass? It's right there.
Cam. Oh man, it was right there. This is how I know I'm tired. See, disgusting. I'm disgusting. Um,
If
this
you don't know about Gargoyles, you
yeah.
haven't been listening to it.
So Gargoyles, the show, was out in the '90s, and it was like 3 seasons. But the third season was kind of because that was the Goliath Chronicles.
Right. Yeah. He went on to Babylon and
Yeah. So the comics skip over all that. In 2006, there was a comic series that was the like basically the real season three because the show got canceled after that one. So it skips over that whole all that stuff, but it counts after season two. So season one and two are in continuity, and then the comic book happened 2006. I don't remember how many issues it was. It was like 12 issues, I think. And this is a continuation on that. So if you haven't read the 2006 series, which I have not, you're
neither
gonna
have I.
get you're gonna get a lot of new faces in this. That is kind of like, huh?
Yep.
there's guys that I did recognize, like
So did I. Elisa's brother.
yeah, Lisa's brother. Yeah, what's his name? Talon,
Mm-hmm.
Cold Stone. I recognized.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was about it. Actually, there are the other ones. I was like, besides the clan themselves, right? We know the Manhattan clan. Um, what did
Goliath
you think?
Hudson. Well, Goliath Hudson, Brooklyn, Lexington, Broadway all reprised their roles. Amazing to see.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah,
Very beautiful book. I like how stylized it is. It looks very much of its own, and I will bury the lead, or I don't even know if that's the right saying, but I don't care. I This definitely makes me think that Disney's planning for to resurrect the cartoon, if not what our dream is, Gargoyles movie. But this just seems like kind of setting the table for what inevitably is coming, which is an animated version of Gargoyles.
yeah. I This is testing the waters. I think,
Yes.
even though it's not Marvel, it's Dynamite. Um, I think this is the Disney imprints right on it. This is a Disney property. Obviously, they've refused to do anything with it, so it's good to see that they are actually trying something
Right.
with the original creator. That's dope. Now, I wonder if it was his idea or if it was Disney's idea or if it was kind of like a
Mutual, like, hey, let's
yeah.
take a look at this.
I'm not sure how it got started or how it got to the floor. I haven't looked into that, but it doesn't really matter. We have it. It's here.
And in answer to your first question, what did I think about this? Man, I had to give you all that. This is what I like to tell you. This is what I don't like. This is a very and then book,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
managed to introduce, let's say, like 26 characters in the span of what, 18 pages.
He's about that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 27 pages in total, but still, it's when you count ads and things. It's splash pages is not, But yeah, it's a lot of it's a
It's
lot of
a
guys.
it's a lot for the first issue. Like, you want me to keep reading? All you really need to tell me that were gargoyles still exist in this world.
No, he gives you everything. It's not poorly written, by the way. It's just like they're just like, all right, issue one, you get everything at once. It's
Yes.
like I was kind of rolling my eyes a little bit at like, oh, this is my boyfriend, and they're dating, and they're together, and they have a kid, and they are in love, and they're together, and she's pregnant, and then I was like, well, I don't need all. What is this?
Would you
What
call
is
this an
this?
and then book? Because that
Yes.
definitely happens from Aliza.
Yeah, it's like so I'm like, now I know in the cartoon I remember her and Goliath like having feelings for each other, but it's a little weird.
They
So,
shoehorned that in like immediately, like, we're
yeah,
dating. He's my boyfriend, and I was like, time out, hold up, wait. I
yeah,
have
yeah,
several questions that
yeah,
I both want to ask and both I should not ask because they get very graphic and very much about what does he do when he's in stone.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then it's like uh Broadway is with his daughter,
Weird.
like
Um,
Goliath's daughter, I mean.
yep.
And then her brother's got a cat girl. Like her brother is Talon is like a mutant now, but he got a cat girl pregnant, and
Yep.
it's
Uh,
like Brooklyn's got a kid. I didn't know that.
and a girl from Japan,
Feudal
Tokyo.
Japan, feudal Japan,
Yes,
yeah.
feudal Japan. Excuse me.
So I mean, I got to go back and read that.
Cold Stone's got a robot girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they make sure to drive that home. Oh, this person's here, and I'm like, I don't really care who's banging who. I really don't at this point. I just want to be
It
reintroduced. Take it easy, you know.
again, and that's the frustration. We fell in love with the show because these were the last of their kind, and they basically spent most of their series being like, it's just us. We need to find a way to figure out how we fit in the world, and slowly peeling back the pieces of, oh, there's more of us, and like, here's how we go again. And this seems like the reverse of that. Like, it seems like we're back in what was it, 1300 Scotland AD, where there was just a clan of
Yeah,
gargoyles,
yeah,
and everybody knew about them too. Like, everybody seems to know like gargoyles exist because they're already helping out crime in the first like 3 pages. They're
yeah, yeah.
they're,
And
they're doing the jobs for the cops.
Colson even bitches about that. He's like, why are we letting ourselves be known to everybody? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's the way it
Elise
is.
is like the first one. Like, she's the narrator in this,
Yeah,
and she's like just spilling the beans to like her partner and whoever's listening about like, oh yeah, I got a boyfriend who's a gargoyle, like, because that's not a red flag. They help us with crime. My brother's also like a mutant. Like, he's under wraps. I'm gonna go visit him. I was like, for a cop, for a detective, you got a lot of loose lips. Like, this
yeah,
is some of this stuff you got to keep to the chest, or wait till issue two.
yeah. They just dumped everything. That was I agree. It was just it was too much. It was like, hey guys, what are we doing here?
Well, that's the charm of the TV series, right? Like, it took a while before you went up the tallest building, Xanados' tallest building, and found the castle and saw what was around it, right? Like,
Yep.
even though it was a cartoon, they really played into like the shadows and like being hidden, and there was that whole kind of conflict between Goliath and Hudson about like, no, we're supposed to be back here, and like the new brood, which was Lexington, Broadway, and Brooklyn, and be like, nah, man, we want to go enjoy ourselves.
Hmm.
Like, that was a fun kind of back and forth of like, you both have merit, but this is a world you can't really trust, and now it just seems like they trust everything. It's like, huh?
Also, I like them is they reminded me of the Ninja Turtles, where like they had to help the city out, except they're from the sky,
Right?
but they were trying to keep it under wraps at the same time. Like it's that cool. We want to
Ninja
call it dichotomy. Yeah,
vibe. Dichotomy is the
yeah,
correct word, but
yeah. You gotta keep them safe, but they can't know you're there, right? So I love that. It's almost like a secret identity, right?
well, these are heroes that can only really operate at night, right?
Yeah,
So they have the whole Batman thing going for them. But this comic book is kind of beautiful in that it they don't really play around with the blacks. Like, it's more like blues and like splash colors. So like, it's vibrant, even though it's supposed to be night. It's like painted like it's day. I don't know if I'm explaining it as well as it looks, but it's a very beautiful book. There's no straight lines, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like painted brushstrokes,
Stylized.
very stylized. We use that word a lot, but they're not without style here. It's just too much too soon for a first
Yeah.
glance. A first glance, like
Yeah. First glance. First issue. Like I don't know if this is a limited run or not, but they just give you everything. It's like, okay, I didn't really need all that,
yeah,
by the way, but hey.
ironic that the next issue is called A Lot Crazy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
um, and we were talking before we even pushed play. The cover art's gorgeous.
Hmm.
Like the variant covers that we're getting, it's like just the fact that gargoyles were what they were for us when we were a kid is one thing, but a gargoyle, which is just a monster with wings,
Yeah.
for an artist, that's got to be like how much fun can I have with this? And it
Yeah.
shows with the cover art, right?
Yeah. It's true. But overall, like this issue, like n- nothing really happens. They set up. It's all set up, which is
Yep.
fine. It's the first issue, but they set up the Manhattan Clan. They kind of set up the labyrinth, the people in the sewers.
Hmm.
They set up the crime. It's kind of funny that they had the two crime bosses busted. I
Yeah,
like this part of it. The whole the mob part of it. They
that
get
could have
two
been more
crime
pages.
bosses.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They get the two crime bosses. They arrest them and they put them in the same cell because they thought it would be funny.
yeah.
So I think it's dope. But then their own guys, their crews are running around like just wrecking the city
And
because
like they're sharing intel, right? One of them is like, "Hey, man, they just let out your pops is out now, like your brother's out now." So like that's stuff that I can chew on.
yeah,
I think to that point, I think Cold Stone was an overshare. I
yep,
think the Labyrinth Clan was an overshare.
I agree.
I think giving me all the relationships up front was an overshare because it would have been amazing just to see the original five fly up and then maybe like Bronx somewhere around and then out the shadows at the like the final scene is like, oh, there's more, like just tease us a little.
Yeah. Yeah, don't
But
get. Yeah, they just give everything, and then at the very ending, they have the Goliath. What was his name? The Goliath clone. What was
that's
his
what's
name?
and that's one of the things like I hate about it. They already announced that like, oh, we do mutagens, and you may see more gargoyles that are clones of other gargoyles. So I
Yeah,
saw a Lexington clone. I was like,
yeah.
why are
But
you
we'll
giving me
get
this
back to that. Yeah,
in the first issue? Like, come on.
like, clones are a bad sign. I'm sorry about this. The Spider-Man clone saga ruined clones for me. I can't stand. Anytime clones are announced, I go. Ugh, I shudder.
And this looks like it's gonna be draped in clones.
Yeah, yeah. Clone heavy. I'd rather the labyrinth things. That's way more interesting.
And this is still Xanados building, no?
Yep, and he's not in it. He didn't die, right? I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. He's the one guy that was never gonna die. By the way,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, no, I had this amulet. I talked to
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
someone from like 18th century, come back to life. Um, but she like again, Lisa has all this access to all these places, just like that.
yeah.
The, it's weird. I wish this first glance had a pre-issue to be like, these are all the things you may need to catch up on, and then remove 60% of the stuff you gave me in the actual issue to tease me to get into
Yeah,
issue
because
two.
Elisa was doing that in
Hmm.
the story, and it was kind of what's the word? It didn't feel natural,
No,
right? I was like,
it sounded like she was like a little sister, just being like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then my brother, well, he's got a girl pregnant, and so I got to go see them, but they're in the sewers, and he's like,
yeah,
he's not really my brother anymore, but he is, but like he's a mutant.
yeah. And
You got
also, he's
to.
got a cat pregnant.
It was like, this is the weirdest thing because they've given us so much. I'm kind of super interested to see what they would give me next.
Yeah, listen. I don't hate this, and I'd like to see where it goes because, like you said, they gave us everything already. So it's that stuff's out of the way. As weird as this issue is, it's like okay, it's out of the way. So all the introductions are done now, right?
Yep.
So we can kind of get into the. So it's almost like you got to read the second issue, kind of figure out how it's
If
going.
yeah, if it's good,
Yeah, but I do want to go back and start from the beginning, as it were.
to see if it makes sense to this point.
Yeah, yeah.
I guarantee it doesn't.
Probably not because there's 12 issues there, and then there's like the TV series, which is on Disney Plus, right? So
Yeah, why wouldn't you make another cartoon or a continuation or just be like, we're doing
I
season
think this
four?
is testing the waters.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. But I don't know. I don't think Disney really tests the waters like that, right? They just put out whatever they want.
Yeah, they're just like, do we have support? Like, do we want to do this? The
Yeah.
money's there.
We'll see. I guess we'll see. Good thing we don't rate these.
Well, the rating is: are you going to keep reading,
Yeah,
or
are you
both?
gonna keep reading? I'm gonna. Yeah, we
I'm going to
both
keep
said yeah.
reading. But is
Yeah,
that because of nostalgia, or that's because what they gave us is good enough for me to want more?
it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
100
So
percent nostalgia. I don't think this was great. I think it was a little too much at once, but at the same time, it's like we were saying, it's out of the way now.
yeah, and there's an
So
ad for Darkwing Duck. So like, if you didn't have me before,
yeah, and then yeah, that's right, Dark. We're getting to that soon too. Have you seen the
yeah,
dog?
I
It's
did. I was so excited. I was like, "What?
yeah,
Did you plan this? You picked
I
this
didn't. That
first
was just
glance
that
because."
total coincidence. I was like, nice. It's like a
So
little.
hey, Disney, if you're listening, we like Saturday mornings. If you're all for rebuilding that, however you can on your streaming channel, I think there's money to be made there.
Dark wing duck.
Let's get
Get
dangerous.